Okay guys, get ready for some serious basketball talk. We love a good revenge story, especially in NBA, and trust us, there have been some seriously epic revenge moments in NBA history, and we are going to track it down. Let's take a trip down memory lane. Cleveland versus Miami. Do you remember when LeBron James made his highly anticipated return to Cleveland as a member of Miami Heat? The fans were livid with him for leaving, and their anger was palpable. But LeBron didn't let that faze him one bit. He played like a man on a mission, scoring an impressive 38 points, grabbing 8 rebounds, and dishing out 5 assists. Talk about making a statement. Everyone expected the Cavs to put up a fight and show the Heat that heart and determination can overcome talent. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. LeBron had an incredible performance, leading the Heat to a resounding 118-90 victory. He even took the time to chat with his old friends on the sideline, adding insult to injury. But the story doesn't end there. The Heat went on to defeat the Cavs 2 more times that season, proving that they were just as formidable as everyone believed. But then came the sweet taste of revenge. In their 4th and final season meeting, the Cavs finally found inspiration and played with unmatched fire. They emerged victorious with a commanding score of 102-90. It was more than just another win. It was a triumph for all those who had grown to despise LeBron for the decision. Satisfied with their stunning victory, team owner Dan Gilbert probably felt like he burst into flames before retreating to his throne in hell. Perhaps he's already working on his next scathing open letter. So there's been a couple instances where the Boston Celtics and the Lakers have had some intense matchups. Let's start in 1984 when they faced off in the epic NBA Finals series. It went down to Game 7, and guess what? The Celtics came out on top, with Larry Bird being named the Finals MVP. The loss served as motivation for Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who were determined to come back stronger than ever. Their revenge came swiftly, and boy did they deliver. In 1985, the Lakers got their revenge by defeating Celtics in Game 6. But they didn't stop there. In 1987, they beat them again in the finals. Fast forward to 2008, and it was the Celtics' turn for revenge. Led by Kobe Bryant, the Lakers fell short as the Celtics won the series in 6 games. That loss fueled Kobe Bryant's fire to be even more awesome. The rivalry continued in 2010 when they met once again in the finals. This time it was a nail-biter that went to Game 7, but ultimately it was the Lakers who emerged victorious. This revenge is still fresh and sweet in our minds. Back in 2006, the Mavericks had a 2-0 lead against the Heat in the NBA Finals. But then something crazy happened. Dwayne Wade went on a rampage and led the Heat to victory in 4 consecutive games, snatching the NBA title away from the Mavericks. Of course, it was no surprise that Wade was voted Finals MVP. Meanwhile, Dirk Nowitzki did his fair share of kicking things, and Mark Cuban couldn't help but blame the refs. In 2011, the Mavericks got another shot at redemption when they faced off against the Heat once again in the NBA Finals. This time it was a highly anticipated matchup that had fans on the edge of their seats. The Mavericks saw this as their chance to make things right after what happened 5 years prior, and boy did they deliver. After falling behind 2-1 in the series, everyone thought it was over for the Mavericks, but they showed incredible resilience and refused to lose another game. Dirk Nowitzki, who would later be named NBA Finals MVP, unleashed all of his pent-up frustration on LeBron James and his star-studded team. It's worth noting that despite other accolades, LeBron continued to be teased as the king with no ring. The Mavericks' triumph in the finals brought immense joy to so many people. The rivalry between Washington Bullets and Seattle Supersonics during the 1978 playoffs was truly remarkable. For Sonics fans, that year was a bitter disappointment, especially for Dennis Johnson. As one of the rising stars in the playoffs, Johnson had an unfortunate performance in Game 7, going 0 for 14 and contributing to Seattle's loss at home after blowing a 3-2 lead. Johnson openly admitted that he choked under pressure, but vowed to bounce back stronger. Both teams faced tough challenges on their way back to the finals. The Sonics had to battle it out for 7 games against the Suns, while the Bullets had an even tougher time with 2 consecutive 7-game series. In Game 1 of the finals, the Bullets seemed to pick up where they left off by taking an 18-point lead in the 4th quarter. However, thanks to a determined effort from the Sonics, they managed to narrow down the deficit and only lost by a mere 2 points. This thrilling comeback from Seattle ignited a fire within them, and they went on to win the next 4 games convincingly. Johnson played an instrumental role throughout the series, displaying his dominance over the Bullets on both court ends. His exceptional performance earned him well-deserved recognition as Finals MVP, a remarkable turnaround from his previous lackluster showing. So, people often say that LeBron choked in the 2011 Finals, but that's not entirely accurate. Magic Johnson actually had a similar experience back in 1984 in Los Angeles Lakers and Boston Celtics. To put it simply, the Celtics had a golden opportunity to win those finals, and they let it slip away during Game 2 and 4 when they could have gone up 2-0 and then 3-1. Both teams didn't face much competition on their road to the finals, and the Celtics made a statement by dominating LA with a score of 148 to 114 in Game 1. However, the Lakers bounced back and won the next 2 games, giving them another chance to take control with a 3-1 lead. With just 1 minute left on the clock, the Lakers were leading by 2 points at 103 to 101. But Boston responded, and Dennis Johnson hit an incredible shot at the buzzer to snatch Game 4 away from LA. Some Lakers players might have felt deja vu from their previous finals loss, but they rallied back and secured victories in the next 2 games relatively easily. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was named Finals MVP for his outstanding performance throughout the series. This victory meant so much more for the Lakers than just another title. After 8 attempts against their arch-rivals Celtics, this win tasted sweeter. The revenge factor was at an all-time high in this classic Lakers-Celtics showdown. In 1988, the Pistons finally got past the Celtics to get their first NBA's final in the Detroit incarnation to face the Lakers, and boy did they put on a show. The physical brand of basketball displayed by Detroit helped them jump out to a 3-2 lead, but it went downhill after that. With Detroit down 70-64, Isaiah Thomas rolled badly on his ankle, but came back and miraculously set the NBA playoff record for the most points in a quarter with 25 in the third. Inspired by Isaiah, Detroit roared back into the game and led 102 to 101 with 27 seconds remaining, and then came the controversy. A phantom foul called on Bill Laimbeer led to free throws, which put the Lakers ahead, and they won the game. With Isaiah limited in Game 7, LA managed to sneak past Detroit 108 to 105. The following season, both teams coasted through the playoffs to get to the finals, but this series balance tilted before even a game was played. Byron Scott suffered a severe hamstring injury in practice and was out for the series. Then Magic Johnson went down with a hamstring problem in Game 2, and it was all over for LA. With their starting backcourt injured, the Lakers didn't stand a chance and got swept. This was really the only one where a refereeing decision played a role in deciding the outcome. The matchup between the Los Angeles Lakers and the New York Knicks is truly iconic. Those were the glory days for Knicks fans. These 2 teams faced off in 3 NBA Finals within the span of 4 years, from 1970 to 1973. The series was filled with excitement and drama. In 1970, the Knicks emerged as victors in a thrilling 7-game series. However, their fortune changed in 1972 when injuries plagued them. With Willis Reed already sidelined for the finals, the Knicks faced additional setbacks with Dave DeBusschere and Earl Monroe playing through injuries. They couldn't keep up with a healthy Lakers team and were defeated in 5 games. The following year, although the Lakers had some regression, winning 60 games compared to the Knicks' 57, it was still an intense battle for both teams in the playoffs. By this time, fate smiled upon the Knicks. Led by Willis Reed's exceptional performance that earned him the Finals MVP title, they turned the tide and defeated the Lakers in 5 games. After a narrow loss in Game 1, they rallied to win 4 consecutive games and clinched their last championship to date. LA felt the sting of injuries this time, with Jerry West and Happy Hairston missing significant playing time. It was truly an epic rivalry between these 2 legendary teams during that era of basketball history. And that's it. We've seen everything. The comeback, the revenge, and all sorts to make everybody watch the NBA. But don't forget to subscribe to our channel.